To lead this discussion, just to have the chance a little bit to have some personal feedback about the performances and the shows and your ideas or whatever. It's up to what you will ask. And we decided to speak in English, so ha valaki fordításra vágyik, akkor én majd próbálok. So anybody would need some translation, I will be the one. But just in small company. So the discussion itself, it's in English. Please.
Okay, so I don't want to keep this thing question and answer, so please just feel free to say your opinion, say if you agree with me or what they say, so just feel free to have an informal discussion. Okay, so we will go performance by performance, but we said today, starting with yours as the first, but we will miss the third one because he's not here, so we'll talk about.
Sorry, but Dominic has had to leave because he has such a little baby, and they just arrived tonight, the baby and the wife, and that's why they left. But they will be here tomorrow, so tomorrow we can make this.
Okay.
And he sent greetings.
So let's start with your performance then. So could you please just tell me something about your company? Maybe I will ask other people, other companies to give a little bit of introduction, because for the Hungarians, mostly don't know companies that much. So could you just tell me a couple of words about your company? It's pretty old one, we can say, because I saw it's like 15 years old.
15. We was working the last 15 years together, and we were doing pieces, creating, and not only for the stage, you know, for the film, and we was working with other companies. ¿Cómo se dice en casa?
Sí, no lo sé.
We are looking for a word in English.
I'm here for translate, but I don't have
We are
English.
working for other companies, national company of Norway, and
You make choreographies? Or
They asked to
immediately?
Damian and Virginia to direct pieces for them, for other companies. So,
and this is all work creating, and we are trying. Sometimes it's difficult to keep the pieces in the time, and in the same time to create news, and because for us now we are in a moment we are trying to keep the repertoire, because
How big is this repertoire? I mean, how many pieces you have?
well, now five. I think it's five, big and small pieces. But because the next project is about this, about the time in the pieces that we create in the time, and how the time develop and change pieces, and the relation that we have with all pieces.
Yes. It's a typical, I don't know about how it is in Spain, but in Hungary it's a typical problem that we make a performance and we have like 5 performances all together and in 5 years, so it's very difficult to keep the energy.
The next
have the same
month,
thing in Spain?
the next month,
The next month?
we are going to do the same piece 10 years later. 10 years later for the first premiere. It's going to do it again with the same theme.
When was this one premiered?
¿Cuándo se estrenó?
Taburet.
This is new.
This summer.
This summer.
So actually I saw already a video of this performance before, but that was open air, not on stage. So what was the original intention? Open air performance or to put it on stage?
In open air, but the base is from the stage. Because for us it's interesting, sometimes we take some parts of the pieces from the stage and we create another thing different and put for the open.
Did you change anything now to put it on stage? Or maybe the spacing, because when I saw it, it was the audience was all around and not from one side. So maybe did you change the choreography a little bit?
you change something because you try to put in a good place for everybody, but no, not too much.
So how did you make these movements together? Because I read this very beautiful poetic text that you've got about your performance. What was the base to make the movements themselves?
For us, always because we never thought in the moment about the beauty. This is a beautiful, nice movement. We are always thinking about the subject, one subject. For us, the more difficult thing is to find. We are reading or find something, and after we try to write our version about this subject, because in the first part of the project you need a lot of information. It's nice work with a lot of things, and after go to
things. The first step is to read a lot of about what they want to talk, and the second step is to write their own words and their own thinkings about the subject, and then goes the movement.
It is always like this, or just now in this performance?
I think
it's always. See, the movement arrived. For example, one production, more or less, how many times? 1 year? 1 year from the beginning, because maybe the rehearsal on the studio is only 3 months or 2 months, but from the beginning, a very long process, because this piece is short, but usually we do a long pieces. And the first part, the half year, is only information, investigation and research, and after the studio is the last part, always.
Do you have this idea?
No, it was not. I mean, I kind of put in this show all. It's kind of made for me, for what I can do. It's a one-woman show, and I do a lot of different things. And I just made it so with what I can do by myself. And I'm not an actor.
Is it a problem for you to use everything that you usually do together?
No, that was kind of the idea also with the story. That it's kind of I tell the story of the pop princess that is kind of produced by that designer, manager, therapist, or it's kind of, she has all the helpers to do it, and she's kind of depending on all of these people, and kind of my performance, or what can I do all by myself, and I do a lot of things, so I kind of made it was my dream was to kind of put all the things together, because I always change, progress by learning new things, and I want to try things by myself and see if I can do it and put myself in a weird situations. And so the masks, and so I built stuff, and it just comes with what I can do, and the masks was I'm not an actor. It was just kind of. What I can do better is to perform like this than talk or like this. So it's kind of made for me, so I can do.
Yeah. Was there anything that didn't you design? I mean, because you singing and doing the lights and everything, and I think you invented the stage itself. The words. So was there anybody else working on it?
No, I mean I had people helping me, and especially the text. I work with someone all the time, and but the basic idea and how I do it, and I build it myself. So, but I had people helping and cutting wood, and my daddy painted God, and like this. Or but I did the songs. It was the first time I played all by myself. I played in bands, and so I kind of I always push myself in a situation what am I doing? But it's kind of how it happened.
I really like this little bird that you had around, like also on stage. You had this little bird that you used.
Where?
A little bird.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean physically that was inside that little
Yeah,
bird.
yeah.
I really like, and I was really appreciate that you were so brave because without the face, it's. I think I would not think it's easier because you said that you don't feel like an actor, so you didn't want to use your face. If I understood you well.
Well, no, I mean, I had
It's more difficult when you don't have your face because you've got then everything on the body, not the power of the face.
Yeah.
So it was such a brave decision, I think.
To kind of switch this, or
No, not to use your face, to have this mask, because then you don't have the power of your face.
Yeah.
So it's I thought it's a difficult way, because you said
no, for me it was. I mean, I looked for. I knew that I'm gonna kind of present a bit the rock and roll, the mean person or the more tough person switch, this contrast into this pop princess. And the masks, I didn't think, I can't show my face or not play or so. It just, I found these masks and it just was, it was just going great. This working out like that. So
okay,
this change,
When you didn't have the mask, I don't know how you feel about it, but I very, very much like that you had a very, very living face and very open communication with the audience because you were looking. It was like a musician because usually the dancers, they use the face, they concentrate on energies and inside. So they've got a totally different relationship with the face, and I really like that you have a very open and changing. You look at people, and you really try to find a communication.
I mean, this part is also like the storyteller or the entertainer, or it's like a little show, and so that was I tell a story, and so but it's also something that I do, or I talk with the public, or when I play in a band, I talk to people, and so it's,
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, you play in a band, but originally you were graduated as a fashion designer.
In the school, I did mostly more costumes and everything they didn't like. Fashion, they didn't like me much. The fashion. So I was more an accident there, but I like to change in roles and the whole hour with clothing or change and shows, and I like all this fantasy, and so that's kind of, I did more this way. So, but I had space there to play around. So, but I did more. I was thinking about fashion or questionizing fashion in this time with clothing. So things like that also.
And I have no idea. So are you scientists or theater people or fine arts, or what do you do?
We are a collective of people mostly coming from the theater scene. Basically, like most of us, still work in theater. And we start.
Actors?
Well, no, I wouldn't say so. We started.
He's puppeteer, so he's actor.
I studied acting, but that's been a long time ago. We started as a small collective for experimental stage work, and in the beginning it was like the goal was about incorporating science and technology in theater and dance, and it's been I don't know, it was 7 years or something. 7 years, 2004, I think. And like since then we do we did lots of performances, and each one is quite different. There are dance pieces or installations or projections, and something which looks more like theater, or I don't know. So each one is very different, and that's actually we try to make it very different because it's like different things that we want to explore, and we want to have this research part in it, and well, that's what we do. And we also are active on the music scene, and we do the visual art as well. We have some exhibitions, and we have the band, do these CDs, and well.
What is, because I read here that collecting mushroom, it's a very special thing in the Czech culture. So what does mushroom mean? Because I didn't know.
So the topic, one side of the topic is that in Czech Republic people collect the highest number of mushrooms during the year, counted to the number of the inhabitants in all world. Yeah. So it's really big tradition, and everyone have the experience to go to the forest and hunt mushrooms. And everyone goes several times to the year. This year was really bad for the mushroom. Last year, then we eat it, of course.
It's delicious, you should try it.
Then we eat it. The meaning of the hunting is to eat it. Yeah.
No, it's like a hunt, it's like something which is coming from, ancient era. It's still like you go forest, hunt for something, you pick the mushrooms, you eat it. Well,
with the baskets.
Yeah.
It's like a social.
It was clear.
So sometimes on some places the forests are full of people. Really, in the weekends there are places where you really are of the people, because the forest is full of people mushrooming. So everyone has his own places where the mushrooms grow out, and you always ask people during the summer. One of the topic, when you meet friend on the street, you ask, where are you mushrooming? There are mushrooms in the forest, and he said, yes, there are, you have to go. Or
it's a lot of passion in it. It's this hunting passion. You don't really hunt, like, not kill the animals and stuff, but you go there and you don't know what's gonna happen. And you have this full basket of mushrooms.
And it's also something like a danger in it, because some mushrooms are poisoned. So you have to know the right ones. There are some people collect only the really very easily recognized mushroom, but some people collect really huge, big scale of mushrooms, because there are only few mushrooms very really dangerous. The others are
harmless.
Yeah.
So what gave the dramaturgy for you, for the performance? Because I felt that it could go on forever, because you've got some associations about the mushrooms, one idea about whatever, and then another idea, and then another idea. But it was, for me, I felt it was like mosaic. It was like picture and another picture, and it could start wherever and it could end wherever. So how do you feel?
Well, I think it's right, because the mushrooms are not linear. Yeah, they are, because I felt it like when we were, because for us now it's really long time we do this performance. Yeah, we don't play it, now we play it in Prague just to play it before this festival, but we don't play it 2 years, and the performance is 5 years old or something like that. Yes, just it's really hard to explain, but now I feel like I really wanted to make performance not for people, like without any people and without people thinking and human thinking, just for mushrooms, about mushrooms. Yeah. So that's maybe why I feel like it don't have beginning and end, because the.
Anyway, like it's about it, like for us to sink in the psychology of the, of the mushrooms and of the forest. And it's nothing about to be human, you know, to have this linearity in or the story, or how you build up the thing.
But the other thing is that at the beginning was one Japan friend, and she just really liked that Czech people. When we want to say that something's happened before we were born, we said that's in the time we were on the mushrooms or mushroom huntings. Yeah. So it's like when in the time where the people are not aware, it's like we are in the forest and hunting mushrooms. Yeah. So that's another layer of the performance.
I live in the Czech Republic, but I'm not Czech, and I have a son, and he, like most Czech kids, knows all the mushrooms. He can recognize the poisonous from the good ones. And when we go to the forest, he is so patient. He can be there for hours, and I am not. But I think I'm learning. Maybe not to be a mushroomer, but to be in the forest and to be listening to it and participating in it somehow. So, yeah, I think he has a gift I don't have. He's in touch with the forest.
Is he half Czech, half
Yes.
American? Okay,
Yes.
so he has some
Yes.
genetic.
Yes, he has it. Yeah, but also the school and the neighbors, the classmates. It's in the, not just in the blood, it's in the culture.
But just more about the dramaturgy, it's true that it's really mosaic and it's look like in the beginning and end, but this is not improvisation. We never work with improvisations. It's always the same, and the structure is really fixed and.
Yeah, it was clear
really
because there
important.
were so many objects, so many technical things that you have to be very precise about them.
There's like lots of offers, I mean, which probably they are not so visible, recognizable for everyone, but it's like this inspiration of John Cage, because John Cage was...
Wasn't it John Cage that?
Yes,
And
it was. And so there are like the elements of John Cage thoughts and John Cage, you know, like some kind of... where we were thinking about his performances or what he was thinking about the performances and trying to incorporate this kind of thinking about mushrooms and what he brought from Asia, you know, like this, he was Zen Buddhist, and this kind of thinking, and for him it was like very complete, and there was no contradiction of, you know, like going for mushrooms, and it felt like it has some Buddhist elements because you are in the forest and, you know, certain things, and so they are like the small elements from John Cage works. They're probably not so visible outside, but it's there, and we believe it makes sense that it's there.
How long time does it take for you to prepare before the performance, everything?
Yeah, like here.
But no, I mean, yeah, here.
Yeah.
Here. Like,
Well, it basically takes all day and part of the, well, more than one day.
yeah, I thought so because really so many instruments and pretty things and the music and the lights. Okay, I had the idea there was something in connection with movies in your group because the lights were so, they were like a movie for me because like, as if you were in a forest in summer with these little spots of lights like the sun, so the lights were really beautiful. Is there anybody like a cinematographer in your group? Or, because
really
I
good.
really like the beautiful
Not
lights.
professional.
No, we like movies. We
Me
like
not.
Old movies. No, but this was like the...
Okay, then it's your natural talent because I
No, it's
No,
the
no,
light
no.
design. It's light design because the light designer was like he had this idea of you know, trying to really get so close to this nature.
Yeah,
you know,
it
the
was
quality
such
of the light in the nature and in the forest, and
And after this performance, we really got a new vision
No, it was
that
big-
to light design because it takes so
Yeah.
much time. So
No, it was even before with the,
next two performances was without any light design and without any computers and
Yeah,
no
yeah,
technical
yeah.
stuffs. And in the posters was written that this performance was made without any computers and and anything with integrated.
integrated cities.
I really like the fact that this performance tries, like Tomasz said, that there's no human psychology in it or something like this. It tries to tell a story, sort of, but it's a story not that humans tell or understand. It's about, for me, when I watch it, I've seen it 3 times, it's like being in connection with humans not talking about their conflicts and how they fight with each other, but how they're relating to the natural world, which is something it's only now we're talking about again. So
It's what David Abrams called not human words.
this show taught me to be patient.
I know. I felt it's a pity that Dominic is not here because for me it was a bit similar because his performance and I have no idea. So are you scientists or theater people or like fine arts or what do you do?
We are a collective of people mostly coming from the theater scene. Basically, like most of us, still work in theater. And we start.
Actors?
Well, no, I wouldn't say so. We started.
No,
well,
he's puppeteer, so he's actor.
I studied acting, but that's been a long time ago. Well, we started as a small collective for experimental stage work, and in the beginning it was like the goal was about incorporating science and technology in theater and dance. And well, like it's been, I don't know, it was 7 years or something. 7 years, 2004, I think. And like since then we did lots of performances, and each one is quite different. There are dance pieces or installations or projections and something which looks more like theater, or I don't know. So each one is very different, and that's actually we try to make it very different because it's like different things that we want to explore, and we want to have this research part in it, and well, that's what we do. And we also are active on the music scene, and we do the visual art as well. We have some exhibitions, and we have the band, do these CDs, and well.
What is, because I read here that collecting mushroom, it's a very special thing in the Czech culture. So what does mushroom mean? Because I didn't know.
So the topic, one side of the topic is that in Czech Republic people collect the highest number of mushrooms during the year, counted to the number of the inhabitants in whole world. Yeah. So it's a really big tradition, and everyone have the experience to go to the forest and hunt mushrooms. And everyone goes several times to the year. This year was really bad for the mushroom. Last year, yeah, then we eat it, of course.
It's delicious, you should try it.
Then we eat it. That's the meaning of the hunting is to eat it. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's like a hunt, it's like something which is coming from, ancient era. It's still like you go forest, hunt for something, you pick the mushrooms, you eat it.
With the baskets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a social.
It was clear. Yeah,
And sometimes on some places the forests are full of people. Really, in the weekends there are places where you really are of the people because the forest is full of people mushrooming.